Right, welcome back to Amped with me, Johnny Doom, and I'm joined on the sofa by Denigrata. How you doing?
Hello.
Would you introduce yourselves, actually, because you've got complicated names?
My name is Denigrata herself, and I'm frontwoman and guitarist.
Minea, keys and operatic vocals.
I'm Tessa Mengai, and I'm the tumble alchemist in the
Ah,
Legion, bass and backing vocals.
got there. Yeah, I wanted to get you on the show. You are actually the most extreme band that I've had on Amped. You know, I've had a fair bit of rock, I've had some metalcore, but your music's a whole different level. It kind of goes to a different extreme. It's obviously rooted in black metal.
Yep.
In a lot of ways. But yeah, just tell us about the band. How did you guys kind of get together? I know that it's a mix of electronics as well as guitars in there, but yeah, just tell us a bit of the background to Denigrata.
Well, like how the original idea started.
Yeah, and how you met and stuff.
It was actually the methodology for my PhD.
Oh, okay.
But that kind of got done and dusted quite quickly, and the band took on a life of its own really quickly.
So it was an initial idea of
Yeah.
yours, and then you met some other people. Was that when electronics kind of came into it as well, and some programming?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we all kind of had the discussion. We were quite clear that we didn't want to work with a drummer. We wanted to do something differently.
Yeah.
And by using Ableton and Glitch and soundscapes, that actually opened up a whole different way of doing things for us.
And yeah, it kind of gives I don't know, some cold textures, you know, some kind of almost industrial textures to it, and I suppose adds to the more frightening elements of the band. And then you've got these kind of, I suppose sweeping black metal parts, but then there's this little operatic element as well. Did you bring that to the table in certain?
Yeah, I mean, I met Jazz and told her, you know, I'm a keyboard player. I'm like classically trained, you know, I've been in bands before, but as like a rock vocalist, a metal vocalist. But yeah, I've been trained to be an opera singer, and I thought it'd be interesting to bring in because it hasn't been done so much. And if it is, it's, you know, very like session musician-y.
Yeah.
So it was cool to bring it in as like a solid member and like a solid part of the music as well.
And you're very involved with music. You're a music teacher, is it?
Lecturer.
Lecturer at the University of
Northampton.
And yeah, so you teach people, not dressed like that, I imagine. And did you get the concepts together for the actual album as well? Because you've done a few things with that. It's almost, it's got a kind of symphonic kind of, I suppose the way it's structured is quite symphonic, and you've also done it in Latin as well. You like to make things easy for yourselves. So yeah, what about that? What's the concept then? What's the concept of the album?
I've got a bit of an obsession with Requiem masses.
Yeah.
And when we were thinking about the way that our first album would be constructed, it's ended up following a very kind of traditional Requiem mass structure.
Right, okay.
Which is why it's got the 7 movements. If you were to look at Mozart's Requiem Mass in D minor, it has the same movements. And what we've all tried to do is make sure that each song is kind of representative of what the original would have been.
Yeah.
So, for example, the Dies Irae is supposed to be Day of Wrath, and do we think that's our kind of magnum opus off of that album? Yeah. So we've paid quite a lot of attention to that, but it's very subversive. It wasn't a case of us. We've had people say to us, "Are you a Christian band?" And we're like, not really. So,
well, you know, black metal, it's shrouded in controversy. There's all sorts of stuff, you know. There's different types of black metal bands, but I think yours is different. It's got a certain your own feel to it. I suppose it's got some English influences rather than Norwegian or Swedish or whatever. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about, obviously the album. Let's mention the album first. What's it called?
Missa Defunctorum.
Yeah.
So in Latin, you know, blackened mass.
Yeah.
Requiem in A minor.
What label can people pick that up on?
Well, we're independent, but we are distributed through Northern Darkness.
Ah, okay, and you've got all Facebook and web stuff out there, so people can check you out. Yeah, so gigs-wise as well, you played recently in a church. How did that happen?
That was our album launch.
Right.
And we had the crazy idea of wanting it to be a really aesthetically immersive kind of environment. So
Yeah.
we did it in a 900-year-old round church by candlelight.
Yeah.
It was fucking great.
Did you know the people in the church? Did you have to kind of twist their arm to get in there?
We just said that it was an avant-garde performance,
Yeah.
which it technically was, but fortunately nobody actually came from the church
Yeah,
to see us,
yeah.
so it's fine.
And you get really nice acoustics in there as well.
Oh, yeah.
It served your voice perfectly, didn't it? It was
Yeah, it was
absolutely
an amazing
beautiful.
venue. Really good.
So we're going to watch a video now. Before we do that quickly though, gigs-wise, have you got anything coming up that you can tell people about, or anything that, or should people go to?
We've got the 17th of July at the Unicorn in Camden. That's going to be a good one. That's free. It's on a Sunday. You got to come down. And then we're doing 23rd of July in
It's a
Northampton,
local one.
Yeah.
which is the local, yeah.
And as I said, just go and check. But yeah, tell us about this video. This is interesting. It's quite a long video. It's quite harsh. Lots of black and white visuals. Who did you do it with?
Well, fortunately at the university, we've got someone from the media department called Kevin McLaughlin.
Yeah.
And fortunately, he was kind of aesthetically on the same page with us anyway,
Yeah.
which we didn't know at the time when we first started talking, and it just kind of panned out from there. But the cameo was a bit of a coup for us, really.
Yeah, how did you get Alan Moore? How did it happen?
Well, me and Jazz have known Alan for quite some time, so
Right.
we just basically asked him and said, would you come and down for a day and
Hang with us in
hang
the
with us an hour or
forest?
so in the forest, yeah.
Yeah, and met him, and he's a nice guy. And
He's
everything.
he's lovely
awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Alan Moore is an amazing, amazing person.
Well, just thanks for coming in. Good luck,
Thank you
people.
very much.
This is quite extreme out here, but I'll let you introduce it. This is Denigrata and
Kyrie eleison.
on Amped.